Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending where you are on this globe of ours, or depending when you listen to this or when we drop it. Welcome to the second episode number 2 of This Week in Sports. I'm your host, Josh Jacko. Next to me is my producer extraordinaire, my brother Caleb. This is the Jacko Show. We are the Jackos. And let's get right into it. Your Montreal Canadiens lose yet again, get smoked by the Tampa Bay Lightning. They were the way better team in Game 3. Tampa Bay is one win away from their second Stanley Cup, back-to-back. And let's be honest, they're the better team in the series here so far. But yeah, Montreal's down 3-0. This whole first few episodes were supposed to be documenting a possible trip to Montreal, and the Habs haven't even won a game. Last night, it wasn't. They were chasing the entire game, and when you're chasing a game, when you're already chasing the series, it's tough. And that was the first game, first Stanley Cup final game in Canada since 2011. The crowd was crazy. There was a lot of people, obviously. Downtown Montreal, it was packed. It was party central. It was a must-win. They didn't win. Carey Price did not have a very good game. There was a lot of mistakes, and if you make mistakes against Tampa, then they're going to capitalize because, they're a championship team. And that's exactly what happened. Montreal's on the verge of elimination. Tampa Bay Lightning are one win away from the Stanley Cup final. I think game 4 goes tomorrow. Just to have some pride, Montreal's better win a fucking game. They have to, because, make it somewhat interesting. But just for the record, no team has come back down by 3 games in the Stanley Cup final ever. It's only actually happened in the Stanley Cup playoffs, I think, like 4 times. Yeah, dude, a team goes up 3-0. That's it. So it doesn't look good. So I'm going to keep it real. Hate to say it, but yeah, Tampa Bay scored 2 goals in succession twice within 2 minutes of each other. And that was the first time was in the first period. The second time was in the second period. That was the game. That was it. They just shut them down after that. So hopefully Montreal can at least win 1 or 2, make it somewhat interesting. But winning 4 in a row, hey man, I'd love to be fucking proven wrong. I would love Montreal be the first team to come back from a 3-0 deficit in the final.
Oh, it's the first time for everything.
Yeah, there is, and it's just hard to picture that, but hopefully that happens. It was pretty disappointing last night, but. In other hockey news, though, the Oilers, our oil, re-signed our boy RNH, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 8-year extension since we last recorded. 8 years. So he might have Ryan Nugent-Hopkins might be the only Oilers player in history to play his whole career with the Oilers. Because 8 years, he'll be 35 by the end of that contract.
Wait, let me get this straight. They signed him for another 8 years.
Another 8 years, yeah.
Oh, my God, wow.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have him.
Fucking right. RNH is the shit.
Yeah.
And $41 million a year, so it's $5,125 a year. So he was making $6 million a year on his previous contract. And this contract shows his commitment to be an Oiler. I heard his interviews, and he loves Edmonton. He loves the community. He loves the team, especially now, because we're on the upside, right?
Yeah.
And opposed to his first few years when we sucked.
Where's Ryan from?
He's from Burnaby, BC, but he played in Red Deer for the Red Deer Rebels in his WHL when he was in junior, and so he's been in Central Alberta for the last 12 years of his life, right? And so he's obviously his family. He met his wife in Red Deer, I guess, and she has family in Central Alberta as well. So it all makes sense for him to sign long term again, which he could very well be an Oiler for life, which would be incredible. Because our Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the Nuge,
Oh yeah,
is like probably one of the fan favorites. Minus
definitely.
minus Connor and Leon. I've always said this. He's our best two-way player. He's our best two-way player, hands down. He takes care of the defensive zone, unlike any of our centers, including Connor. Like Connor, he's a force to be reckoned with offensively, obviously, but no one takes care of their defensive zone. No forward, I should say, takes care of the defensive zone like RNH. So glad to have him back. Also, speaking of Connor McDavid, he won the Hart Trophy again this year, MVP, his second MVP title. He also won the Ted Lindsay Award, which is basically the best player voted on by the players throughout the league. That's his, I think, third Ted Lindsay. Art Ross winner as well, which is our league leader in points. He had 105, I think, in 56 games. Unheard of since like the days of Gretzky and whatnot. Mario Lemieux, I think, was the last guy to put up those point totals. And I was hoping that Darnell Nurse was going to get a finalist nod for the Norris, the best defenseman, but he did not. He finished 7th in voting, I guess. But that's 2 years in a row an Oiler has won the Hart Trophy for league MVP. Last year it was Leon Draisaitl, and this year it's Connor.
So now that we're on the topic of Connor, how long do we have him? Like, what's going on?
We have him for another 5 years because he signed an 8-year deal worth $100 million. So
Wow.
he makes 12.5 a year. He's the highest paid player, obviously, in the NHL. He probably could have got more, but the NHL has a salary cap,
Right.
and the players understand that. And RNH did too. He realizes if he takes a little bit less, right? He's getting paid 40. It's a $41 million contract, 5.15 a year, opposed to $6 million. That's like 800 grand. That's 800 grand extra that you have on the books.
Right.
Almost 875,000 that you can put to other players and other assets.
Yeah.
So RNH very solid for him signing again. He probably could have got a little bit more, like annually on the open market, but no, I don't think any team other than the Oilers would give him the commitment of 8 years. So he's going to be an Oiler for a long time, and he already has been. He's already our longest serving player, anyways, right? He's been with us for 10 years now.
Yeah, I remember like shouting Nuge way back in the day.
Way back, right?
Yeah, when I was a kid still, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm super thankful for that. And I was a little bit worried that we weren't going to sign him. Like, I thought maybe his last game was in the playoffs there as an Oiler. And I was like, oh, hopefully not. Because I love fucking Nugent Hopkins. He's the shit. So we got him. And the NHL, the awards were handed out in the NHL. The Vezina Trophy winner, the best goalie, is Marc-Andre Fleury of the Vegas Golden Knights. I think that's his second or third Vezina. He's also a 3-time champion with Pittsburgh Penguins. Legend, Marc-Andre Fleury. He was the first overall pick, actually, for the Pittsburgh Penguins. If I'm not mistaken, the first time that the draft lottery happened in the NHL, Pittsburgh won the right to pick first overall. I think it was 2004, and they picked Marc-Andre Fleury first overall. The only goalie to get picked first overall in the last 30 years or something. Goalies don't usually go number one. I think maybe Carey Price did as well, but he has yet to win a cup unless they can win 4 in a row. New York Rangers Adam Fox wins the Norris somehow. Never even heard of the guy. Kaprizov from the Minnesota Wild wins Rookie of the Year. He wins the Calder. Some other players got signed in the NHL. None of whom we really care about. Just some, second liners, third liners, fourth liners. So besides Montreal getting smoked 3-0 in the series so far, not much other major news in the NHL. In Major League Baseball, however, we got some good news there. We got 3 Toronto Blue Jays voted as starters for the All-Star game happening next weekend. It is Marcus Semien, second baseman. We just signed him this year. He leads all second basemen in home runs. Having a great year. He was actually 2 years ago. He was finished third in MVP voting when he played for the Athletics, and he looks like he's on that. He has the same form he did then. He had a little bit of an off year last year, but last year, I don't know, it doesn't really count because it was a shortened season. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as well, having a killer year. Talked about it last episode. Killing it. He's among the league leaders in home runs. He leads the AL in average. All offensive categories, he's top 3. And he's just on a tear. He's finally coming into form after having a few seasons under his belt. He's only like 21 years old, and this guy's going off. So he's also a starter for the All-Star game. Voted by you, by me. I voted for him. How could I not? Guy's having a killer year. He's my favorite player. Speaking of the home run race, though, Shohei Ohtani, pitcher, hitter extraordinaire. He also obviously voted as a starter. I seen this stat the other day of his last 2 weeks in the bigs. Oh my God, it's like unprecedented. He hit like a home run every day for like 2 weeks, and he also in between there he had some amazing pitching performances as well. And the fact that he's the only player to pitch and hit in the same season since like the days of Babe Ruth speaks to him as an athlete, and it's so rare to see it. Like I wish it happened more often, but the game of baseball is so hard, especially at that level, that you basically got to focus on one aspect of it, and that's kind of historically over the last like 70 years, players have done. They either pitch or you either bat and you're a fielder. You never see something like usually, when you're a little kid, you do both, right? In little league, just fucking around, seeing what you're good at, and then by the time you get to like high school, you're focused on one or the other. And the fact that this guy, who's Japanese, is doing both is incredible. So shout out to Shohei. I'm a big fan of his. I see him having like a historical career because if he just keeps on the same pace that he's on right now, then NBA news: finals are set, or the finals are about to be set. The Phoenix Suns, if you can believe it, are in the NBA finals. They upset the Clippers 4-2, the series win. Bucks Hawks go tonight, game 6. Bucks up 3-2. They have a chance to go to the finals, to meet the Suns, to play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. It'd be nice to see a game 7 here, so I'm cheering for the Atlanta Hawks tonight. And if they can force a game 7, that'll go on Tuesday, maybe Monday. I don't know. I didn't even look. I'm assuming that they're following the same schedule as the NHL. Every off day the NHL has, the NBA plays, and vice versa. Your boy Antetokounmpo, doubtful for Game 6 tonight. Their All-Star MVP winner for the Milwaukee Bucks. He got injured in Game 4. He like hyperextended his knee. It was kind of gruesome, but I guess there was no like actual structural damage. But doubtful for Game 6, which does play in the Hawks' favor. Obviously, the other team's missing their best player, then way better chance. CFL news. It starts soon. I cannot wait to actually get back out and watch a live sporting event that happens in about a month, I think, Caleb. August 7th is the Edmonton Elks. I'm still calling them the Esks. They play their first game August 7th against the Red Blacks, which is also a stupid ass name if you ask me.
Who are the Red Blacks?
They're from Ottawa, and it's a dumb name.
Were they something before that?
Ottawa has like the worst luck when it comes to CFL teams. They've had like I think like 3 or 4 different teams in our lifetime in Ottawa.
Why?
I don't know.
They just haven't made it like a
Well,
winning team yet.
Yeah, well, they haven't won a Grey Cup. I think maybe they've won one since we've been alive, and they don't have a lot of fans that go to their sporting events in Ottawa. Not only just the Red Blacks and their football team, but the Ottawa Senators. When they were in the playoffs a couple years ago, dude, there were still seats empty at the top of the bowl in a playoff game in Canada. Unheard of. So I don't know what it is about Ottawa. I've never been, but I guess they're more focused on, I don't know, shit up the Parliament than going to the hockey game. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. I imagine in the terms of Ottawa Senators, like anyone in Ottawa is either a Maple Leafs fan, or a Habs fan.
Yeah, no, it's true. This is actually true because the Senators have only been around since the 90s.
There you go.
Right, the early 90s. And these other teams that are like all the older people are obviously Toronto fans or, like you said, Montreal fans. So they don't all the Senators fans are like usually the newer generation, right? The younger generation.
Have the Senators won a cup?
No, they've made it to the Stanley Cup final back in 2007.
Yeah,
and that's as close as they've gotten. A team had back in the day from Ottawa has won the Stanley Cup. We're talking like 100 years ago, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Different franchise.
All right. So what's going on with the Red Blacks here? Well, what were they before?
Well, they were the Renegades, the Ottawa Renegades for the longest time.
I recognize that name.
Yeah, but they were, they lost their team. Ottawa did, for a few years, like I think 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years. Ottawa didn't have a team after the Renegades went under, and it was an 8-team league. The CFL was, and then about 4 years ago, the Red Blacks, Ottawa finally got a team. The Red Blacks. There's some stupid story behind it, why like the 2 colors mean so much, some RCMP shit or something. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I think it's a dumbass name.
It sounds dumb.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even a fan of the Elks either. I'm not like the Edmonton Empire sounds way better to me.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I never even knew Empire was up for grabs here.
Empire would be dope because we've won a lot of championships.
Yeah.
We won the second most championships in the CFL. So, I don't know. Got to get used to it.
I think we'll get used to it.
No, we'll have to, right?
Yeah.
But when they do the chants "Go Elks," because it used to be "Go Esks," I'm going to be yelling Esks. I don't give a shit. I don't think it's even that much offensive. Like, if you ask some Iqaluit people, I've heard some Iqaluit people say, or not Iqaluit, Inuit people. Iqaluit people.
Is that an island?
That's the capital of Nunavut.
Right. Sorry, any Nunavut listeners.
Yeah, sorry guys. If you're listening way up there, shout out. Oh, Richard actually went up there. He's working up in the Northwest Territories.
In Iqaluit?
No, not that far north.
Okay, yeah.
Yellowknife right now. But the sun doesn't really go down there right now.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, eh? Could you imagine that?
Yeah, it stays up the whole day.
Yeah, and then in the winter, for like a couple weeks, it doesn't come up.
Yeah, it's just darkness.
Yeah, that'd be fucked up, eh?
Yeah. No, I watched a video of a guy in Iceland that had the same thing, and he's making a video talking about how he's walking his dog at like 4:00
p.m.
And then he turns his camera around. And he's like, "There's no sun,"
Yeah.
and he's like screaming.
Oh, dude, that would drive you That would drive you crazy. Would it not? Like, I don't know how I'd be able to handle it.
I mean,
in the winter,
we adapt, right? Like, what? Our sun goes down at like 3:30 in December.
Yeah, but we still get darkness.
Yeah,
so we get some variety. But yeah, during the winter it sucks. I hate it. That's my worst. That's my least favorite part of the winter.
Well, yeah, it's because you get up for work when it's dark, and you go to work when it's dark, and you leave work when it's dark.
When it's dark, you don't see any sun.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you work inside. Yeah, so that's my least favorite part of winter. Thank God it's not winter more anymore. Thank God this heat wave is done. Frick, I had a crazy week at work. Not that this podcast is about that, but I sweat my balls off this entire week at work. It was brutal.
Yeah, I went outside this morning or earlier today, and it was like 26 out, and I'm like, ooh, it's cool.
It's a little chilly. Yeah.
Put a jacket on.
I know, right? Actually, I think we got some rain last night too, so that helps.
Yeah, but like any other time, that'd be like really hot. It would be a lake day at 26.
Right? But now you can't even go to the lake now.
Yeah.
You'd be shivering and shit.
Yeah, it's been 36 all week, so to compare it, yeah. It's not.
My god, this week at work now is going to be so much better. Yes, I still work for a living, like slaving away, but this podcast is to hone my skills as a sports broadcaster. I appreciate y'all listening. I'm gonna try to go play baseball today. I'm not sure how I feel because I wiped out on a scooter a couple of days ago after Canada Day, after the fireworks. Cruising with Naomi, our sister, downtown. Little bit of a buzz on, obviously, right? I was on a scooter, hit this big ass pothole that Edmonton is known for, right? Freaking go flying like kind of over the handlebars, do a bit of a roll because I've experienced wiping out because I wipe out so much on this shit.
I feel like you wipe out like every 6 months.
Yeah, dude. Last year I wiped out like 4 times. This one, yeah, I rolled because just instinctively I put my shoulder in, tuck my shoulder in, right? For you kids out there, if you're gonna wipe out, tuck your shoulder and do a roll. You gotta protect your head. So that's why my wrist hurts. My left, because I rolled on my right shoulder, but I stopped. I prevented my head from hitting the concrete with my left hand, and I kind of sprained my wrist. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to I want to go hit up the field to play some ball because I'm a diehard like that.
It's your catching hand.
But it's my catching hand, thank God, right? And that's not what I'm concerned about is the catching. I'm concerned about the hitting. So if I do go play ball, I may just have to play catch or pitch and not hit, which would suck because I'm going to toot my own horn, but I'm the best hitter there. Thank you for listening to this episode 2 of This Week in Sports. I wish I had better news about the Habs. I feel like I'm breaking the news to people. No, but down 3-0. Hopefully they can win one. Give me a little bit of hope. But it looks like Cold Lake's happening next weekend and not Montreal.
Listen, I think we're still going to Montreal.
All right, I like that. I really like that confidence.
Yeah. When will we know? When's the next game, Josh?
Next game's tomorrow.
Next game's tomorrow. We'll know tomorrow.
Next game's tomorrow. And no, it's on Monday. Danny was right. Cousin Danny. Shout out to Cousin Danny. He told me Monday. I was like, no, it's got to be tomorrow because I thought they were doing every other day, but I guess they have 2 days off in between 3 and 4, and then Wednesday, Friday. If it makes it to Friday, if it makes it to game 6, then we have a series.
Yeah.
So what would happen? What would have to happen for us not to go to Cold Lake is Montreal would have to win on Monday. They would have to win on Wednesday, and then it's 3-2, and then it's up in the air then. Because if we do go to Cold Lake, I probably only want to go for one night anyway.
We'll see, folks.
Yeah, no, I would still love to go to Montreal. Obviously, that's still what I'm hoping for. But a backup plan is not too bad either. Go hit up the lake and go party with the cousins. Thanks again, episode 2. Thanks to my producer, Jacko. I'm your host, Josh Jacko, and this has been A Week in Sports.